This is a video featuring the renowned Tibetan epic reciter State Og performing the Epic of King Gesar. In Tibet, there is a mysterious group of individuals. Most of them are illiterate, and after experiencing a dream or a serious illness, they suddenly receive divine inspiration and can recite an epic called the Epic of King Gesar comprising millions of words. This group is revered as divinely inspired epic reciter. Currently, there are over 150 divinely inspired epic reciter discovered in Tibet. This video will take you on a journey to delve deeper into this group, exploring yet another mysterious phenomenon in Tibetan culture. When it comes to the divinely inspired epic reciters, we must first understand the world's longest epic they recite, the Epic of King Gesar. King Gesar is an ancient mythological figure that the Tibetan people take pride in. Throughout his life, he rode into battle, upheld justice, and brought blessings to the people. The Epic of King Gesar was a biography that chronicles his life's deeds. For thousands of years, this biography was not written down but was orally transmitted by numerous epic reciters. They traversed high plateaus, mountains, valleys, singing the epic and spreading the heroic tales of King Gesar among the people. What is incredible is that most epic reciters can suddenly recite millions of words of King Gesar's story. Some can recite continuously, without eating or drinking, for up to 24 hours or even longer. The young epic reciter State Og was born in 1989 into a herdsman family in Byamba County, Tibet. When he was 9 years old, he had a peculiar dream that would alter his destiny forever. The dream was incredibly vivid, and he still remembers it to this day. At the time, he was in the second grade of a boarding school. One evening, he dreamt that he found himself in a beautiful grassland, where the weather was perfect, and flowers were in full bloom. Suddenly, two red-faced knights appeared. They led State Og to a tent and spoke to someone inside, saying, "King Gesar, we have brought the person we were looking for here." A voice from within the tent responded, "Child, your arrival today is very auspicious. I need your help." Subsequently, the two red-faced knights produced two thick books and compelled State Og to swallow them. Afterward, the two knights galloped away and vanished into the sky. The next day, when State Og woke up, he felt dizzy and bewildered. He found the dream to be so incredible that he couldn't concentrate in his classroom. Suddenly, he felt a warm sensation surging through his head, and it was as if a movie was playing in front of his eyes, with constant scenes of demons invading and brave soldiers on horseback fighting in a war. He also saw a tall figure radiating a gentle light, leading the charge at the forefront of the army, bravely fighting the enemies. At that moment, State Og stood up from his seat and began reciting loudly. His classmates were frightened and ran away. 2 hours later, State Og finally stopped. The teacher, filled with excitement, hugged him and said, "You were reciting the Epic of Gesar." It was only then that State Og realized that the radiant figure he saw in his mind was King Gesar. Afterward, State Og could even recite continuously for a day and a night without eating or drinking, completely entering a frenzied state. However, he himself did not feel hungry and did not get tired. Once he started, he couldn't stop on his own. Someone had to physically intervene to make him stop. What's even more incredible is that State Og himself had no knowledge of what he was reciting. He said, "It doesn't feel like I'm the one reciting. It's as if someone enters my body to recite in my place." As a performer of the Epic of King Gesar, State Og received the opportunity to enroll in Tibet University. In 2017, he earned a master's degree in Tibetan language and literature, becoming the most highly educated and youngest inheritor of the Epic of King Gesar to date. Apart from State Og, another highly prominent epic reciter is an elderly figure known as Songju. His extraordinary accomplishments have been the subject of fascination for many. When Songju was young, he was illiterate and led a simple life. However, at the age of 11, a dream changed his destiny. In the dream, he found himself in a dire situation, being beaten by debt collectors. In the nick of time, King Gesar appeared and saved the young Songju. After this dream, Songju mysteriously acquired the skill to recite the Gesar epic. Initially, people around him didn't understand what he was reciting until an elderly person recognized that he was reciting the Gesar epic. It was then that everyone realized that young Songju was a divinely inspired epic reciter. Songju, the elderly gentleman, holds the record for the most extensive recordings of the King Gesar story in history. His legacy encompasses 45 different chapters, making it the most comprehensive and complete reciting version of the King Gesar epic in the world. In fact, each epic reciter has unique and extraordinary experiences. The renowned female epic reciter of the King Gesar story, Yume, had a remarkable experience. At the age of 16, she dreamt of encountering a celestial maiden who bestowed upon her the divine ability to recite the Epic of King Gesar. From that moment on, she embarked on her first recitation, continuing uninterrupted for 7 days and nights. Gradually, she gained recognition and became a highly acclaimed Gesar epic reciter in Tibet. Another epic reciter, Bukyong, had a unique experience. When he was 11 years old, he dreamt of 2 monks holding scriptures, instructing him to continue the storytelling of King Gesar's tale. Upon waking up, with the blessing of a high-ranking monk, he was able to recite the entire epic with clarity. He described each performance as entering another world, filled with mystery and wonder. The phenomenon of divinely inspired epic reciters in Tibet is truly unique, sparking various speculations and discussions. Some believe that the extraordinary experiences of these epic reciters may be related to their living environment and the cultural influences they have been exposed to since childhood. Some researchers also believe that the human brain functions like a living storage device, with the accumulated knowledge and experiences of human civilization engraved in the genes of our ancestors to ensure that knowledge is not lost. In specific circumstances, these stored knowledge and skills can be activated. Divinely inspired epic reciters may be individuals in whom a specific medium or skill is activated under particular conditions, such as when they dream or have experienced head injuries, allowing them to access certain parts of the King Gesar epic. Another perspective involves the Tibetan legend of Terma. According to this belief, when a particular sacred text or classic is in danger of being lost or not passed down, divine beings entrust it to a specific individual and store it in their subconscious to prevent it from being forgotten. When the conditions are right, this individual can then recite or transcribe the sacred text. This phenomenon is referred to as the terma. The latest theory suggests that Gesar is a high-dimensional being who once reincarnated on Earth as King Gesar in Tibet. He specifically selects descendants with higher spiritual qualities, endowing them with the ability to recite the Epic of King Gesar. He does this to pass on his heroic deeds and to spiritually educate future generations. Tibet holds numerous mysterious religious, cultural, and geographical elements that have fascinated people for centuries. Thank you for watching.